Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Marjorie Ovayoak, born in Tuktoyaktuk, 10 miles north of Tuk, born 1953, family of 12 or 14.
My name is Noel Raymond. I'm a pensioner now, and I've been living here all my years, all my life. Uh, I do quite a bit of harvesting, and I'm still doing that. And I always thank our good Lord that He's given me uh, health so far, and I'd like to continue and um, try to pass on my knowledge of our Nomadic language and the significance of this project today.
There were times that I recognized Pingos, and those Pingos were a landmark for our traditional way of living, harvesting, camping, or when we were lost. And it's all mainly on the west coast of Tuk Peninsula. Might be a few on the east side, down south, down a little further south. And I can remember my father telling me, if you ever get lost, I'll never forget his word. He told me, he said, when you're lost, go to a hill. When you go to a hill, you see a bigger one, go to it. So as soon as you hit the highest hill, you could see the Pingos. Sometimes there's 8 or less Pingos around when you see. And his words were, if you know the trail, you're not far from home.
They're very interesting landmarks, especially when you're traveling. We used to travel with a boat or with a dog team and something. As we were coming home from the ocean, um, my mother used to always say when we were getting close to Tuck, she'd say, when the fingers lined up together, a straight line, she always say we're close to home now, and that really instilled in my mind what they use the fingers for, not only uh, as landmarks, but even as to say that they're close to home.
I remember a lot of trips that involve our nomadic lifestyle. Pingos was always around. And each Pingo has a name, a traveling name. Like in Husky Lakes on the east side, there's one Pingo we call Ptarmigan Hill. Reason why we call that is when we're coming back from Husky Lake, no matter with Skidoo or with somebody, there's always ptarmigan. When they hear us, they fly. So we would stop, and we like ptarmigans too, so we shoot a few and then head back home. Another one is berries. There's quite a bit of berries. There's all kinds of berries down near the Pingos. And wood. I know quite a few times I used to wonder what water Pingo is. First time I hear it, since I was a little girl and I never heard it, but next thing I hear my dad and my brother saying they're going to go to water Pingos. Didn't know what it was. As the years went by, I found out they go to that Pingo not far from our camp, about 10 miles, maybe less. They go there with a barrel, come back with fresh water from the water Pingos. So Pingos did do a lot of things for our nomadic life. If you know it, you taught it, you can always rely on nature.
There's another significant thing about these penguins I used to hear about, it might be a legend, but um, And it's always it's always in my mind about how important these two Pingos were. Um, as the story goes, there was this man, or there was this spirit of a bear out in the ocean, and to he wanted to become a human being, in spirit, and he made up his mind, and as he was traveling as a bear, he wanted to go find a human mother. So as he was traveling, he saw these Pingos and he used them for a landmark. And he kept traveling with them, toward them. And he reached this place called Ovayoak now, which, and he became, he became a man, a human, uh, by choosing a mother. And I've always believed the story, and it's very significant of how these Pingos brought him here, because he used him as a point to come to people, and that's how he became a man.
Movement for the animals to come up to our area. And I can remember an elder thought he caught a fox. It was a fisher fox from way Tatu area. So animal migration is not the same anymore. And our traveling migration is different. The road we use, the traditional way we use our traveling camping trail, we have to kind of move a little further this way, a little further that way, because some lakes are drying up. That old summertime when we used to go to our camp, instead of going by the channel, now we go by around the whole area to get to our camp. So erosion, climate change is affecting our way of life, but we still manage. We use our skills, we use our knowledge.
And there was this one incident we had. We were traveling with a motorboat, and my father and my older brother and I, we had a little motor problem before right below the Pingo. And my father pulled up the boat and he started working on the motor. So me and my brother, we grabbed a little 22 and started walking in the swamp by the side of the Pingo. As we got a little further away, as we looked up about halfway up the Pingo, we saw some kind of thing that we couldn't recognize, almost like a mouse or a snout. Anyway, we went back to my father, and he was all done with the motor. We, after he was done, he decided to walk around to the other side because there was a lot of swamp. And as we were passing that place where we saw the animal, we just went past about so many feet, and we turned around. We started to go back, and my father stopped us. He said, "Oh, I think there's a grizzly bear up there waiting for us." So he told us to get back behind him. He loaded up a shotgun, and we didn't have any rifles. He had a shotgun, and we started walking. And that bear, when it recognized us, it got up. He started walking up the Pingo, but I guess it changed his mind. And my father yelled out, and he started coming back toward us. And I guess it was trying to get to the wind where he could smell us, When he reached a place where the wind was blowing toward him, he just threw himself and took off, And, it was a good thing it wasn't aggressive and trying to go after us. After that happened, we went to the two couple they were fishing there, and we told them about the incident when the thing was shot. Yes, that guy was. He had just started laughing. Oh, I got an axe, and he wasn't even worried about this. And then I saw, oh, wow, they were brave, and that's one of the memories I have of being at the Pingo.
My word for the youth today is always respect your land, respect what your parents say, your parents, your guardians or whatever are teaching you the life that we had compared to today. Today it's tough because everything's easy. So easy that you don't care to go to listen. We're trying to teach like when we were in the days when we didn't have all the technology, all the machines, all the knowledge that you have today. We learned by word of mouth. We learned by watching. We learned by listening. We learned by passing it on with no books, no papers. Your generation today needs to look at leadership, work together, help each other out. Thank you.
Yeah, I just like to encourage the young people now. It's a very good project, I think, with this project about Pingo Pride, because I've been involved in it before. We were taking some children out, and it's a very good program, and I just like to encourage them to learn more about the Pingo and start sharing it, because it's a very iconic landmark, and they're very unique. Good to be part of our landscape, and I really want to encourage these young people to get involved and be proud of the things that you can show the world. And that's my message to you.